Throughout the age of Gen Z, we have noticed that a lot of students in our day have endured much stress, emotional damage, and honestly, a lot of burdening during most of our time in COVID-19. Some students tend to get either sensitive or aggressive towards each other as a result of such. And the repercussions of that is we tend to hurt our fellow image bearers in Christ, and some even tend to joke about it and hurt others without knowing. Let's say Susie kicks Timmy's backpack, breaking his laptop in it. She didn't know that there was a laptop in his backpack, but when he gets home, he has to explain to his parents what happened, and they don't necessarily take his side of the story. They just see a broken laptop, and they know that it was in his book bag, therefore it's his fault. So, and as a result of this, Timmy gets angry, he goes in his room, he slams the door, and he seals himself away, not bringing up the situation again with his parents. So, with that in mind, let's explain in more detail why emotional education would be important in school. Throughout the school day, you never know how you're going to feel throughout the day. You might start off sad, you might start off happy, you might start off mad. You never know. But one thing's for sure, the way you respond to that is how you will go throughout your day. The main reason we should learn about emotional education in order to help our students is because it will help avoid conflicts and further stress and struggle throughout the day. And honestly, avoiding that one in turn avoid making the day worse, instead of being just left to deal with the wounds of a bad morning, per se. Through the course of the life, many people endure trials, but have you ever been through a season of life where you wish you were braced to handle those kind of emotions? Like, let's say one of your family members passed away, and you were not able to handle that emotion. You could end up going throughout your day very hurt, very sad, very angry, and no one could know the reason. We need to educate our students in one of the key factors of avoiding any more emotional harm, and that's being able to tell the body language. So, through that understanding, we can ensure that students build not only good relationships, but great understanding between themselves. Through this, students will be able to recover faster. They maybe not fully, but they will also have the ability to hold their head high as they go throughout their day. I understand that schools may not be able to afford a teacher that can give such an understanding, able to teach a class on such a topic. Emotions can be easily taught, though, through experience and study. While profession may not be needed, experience is a key factor for helping students understand and be prepared for such an event. Because if you can't relate to it, you can't necessarily prepare them for it. And another key factor is it has to be someone who is gentle-hearted and willing to listen, not quick to jump to a verdict or listening to one side of the story without hearing the other. It takes a lot to be unbiased, but that is still a key factor in what it will take for a great emotional education. There should be no reason for students to be degraded because of their problems. Told that, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or, oh, I understand it. There's no way to understand what they feel because you're not them. Mistakes like this make the problem itself more harmful than it already is, because they feel lied to in a way. It's a horrible and strongly neglectful thing to do that to a student, because, again, they need someone to relate to. If they lack the knowing of emotions, they possibly cannot arrange their words, again, to describe how they feel. So, if they can't describe how they feel, no one can truly know the pain, and no one can truly understand. teaching itself, not only do students need emotional help, but even the teachers might need it from time to time. You never know what could be going on in your teacher's day. I mean, they could have had a really rough morning. Their wife could have yelled at them, or their husband could have yelled at them, their dad could have yelled at them. But both parties need to be able to appeal to each other's emotion, or there will be no mutual understanding. With that mutual understanding in mind, though, when it happens, it will allow the teachers and students to form a bond that will benefit them both, allowing for easier teaching, study, and an all-out relationship between the two. Now, time for the subject that some students might be iffy at, the parents. Why do we have to talk about the parents? Well, maybe it's the view that has to change about the parents sometimes. As a parent, they spend money, time, and honestly, a lot of their energy helping you achieve a good life and a good education. Assuming it's a good family, that is. And now, what does that have to do with emotional education, you may ask? Well, if you're able to understand emotions and the body language that goes with it, you were able again to build a better relationship with your parents, avoid strong conflicts or conflict at all. One of the key factors of having that emotional education, not only will it better your bond, but it will also have your parents in a more understanding area of your life. They're able to help you cope with things that you may not be fully understanding of. So, in summary, emotional education allows for a stronger relationship, bond, and understanding of your fellow students as well as your teachers. It will bring more people into your life because they will come to ask you for that understanding. And it will also help our community as a school to help teach students and people throughout our community and our world how to identify, sympathize, and empathize with, and help cope